Alright, I think I just want one last thought on the whole soil warming up in the spring thing. I don't think I ever really put it very well ever in my videos that I've made about this subject. It's pretty complex, but I think what I'm trying to say is your soil warming up in the spring is mostly to do with biological activity. You know, some stories about how no-till guys with cover crops had warmer soil if you go down, a couple inches than, full-till neighbors, and guys that have ground that hardly ever freezes because they have huge cover crops stockpiled and whatever. Anyways, basically that's thanks to the energy output from biological activity. And what you need for that biological activity is air and food. And if you have a cover crop, you have both those covered because of the aggregation that's maintained and the sugar exudates. In this situation, I tried to seed a cover crop at end of September, third week of September. I broadcast with a drone, camelina, and winter trit, and it only took on the soybean acres and a little bit of the sunflower acres, and not really in the corn. So, and we have all this residue, which is, soil food web food. And we want to get rid of it because this is basically just going to be in the way next spring, especially using a tine weeder. We got to get it gone, digested, ideally. If we don't do that, we got to bury it. Go deeper with our high-speed disc. Or a lot of guys plow. Anyways, the whole idea here is we're recycling all the plant residue we got from this big corn crop, and we're trying to prime the soil for next year. And, I don't have a cover crop growing here, and there's a lot of things that drove over this over the course of the year, and it was a wet year. And I have a type of soil that's super high magnesium. I've gotten the calcium base saturation way up without adding more magnesium to 70, close to 80%, I think. Most all fields, but there's just so much magnesium. The ground just wants to compact, and if you have any period of time without a growing cover crop, I think what I would do here is seed it later, maybe closer to when the corn canopy's dying off. But yeah, in this case, the ground just over time compacts. I lose the gas exchange, and that's what causes this ground specifically to really suffer in no-till conditions sometimes if you don't have a cover crop growing. Because what I've seen on my farm is, what I think happens is there's lack of gas exchange, there's lack of food or plants growing. You're not going to have biological activity, obviously. And that's really that and gas exchange, obviously. So what causes the soil to breathe in and out is biology. It's also the weather, but stuff breathing in and breathing out, think about it. This is biology is a big mover in that. So moving the gas, creating the gas, you know, the soil aggregates that allow for gas exchange. That's what you need. So we're incorporating this stuff into the ground, which is going to aid in its decomposition. Like, that's just how it works. You know, you can spray stuff on the plant surface, that could work, but really we're trying to pin this down, get dirt on it, and then just decompacting the soil minimally evasively deeper down. Like, you can feel it with your foot, it's squishier. This is just gonna be good overall for biological activity, and that's what's gonna warm the soil up. I think a lot of people probably heard, you know, oh, you need black dirt. This is not creating black dirt, guys. Like, here's a little spot that's, I don't know, mostly, you know, this is still very protected soil, and the whole idea here is to get stuff breaking down, get the, you know, get the fungi going and all that stuff, break all this down, bacteria, and, you know, especially without a cover crop, breathe a little bit without destroying, you know, just inverting things and throwing stuff around. That really puts things out of whack. But anyways, air movement and decompaction and food for the soil biology. That's what you should focus on in the fall, really year round. But, you know, in this situation, what does that mean? You know, if you don't have a cover crop growing, this is what I do. Ideally, you know, get some more plants out here. And, you know, I think even if you have a cover crop in the right stage of life, you can, you know, run the curse bust over, maybe pull up the harrow on the back or something. But anyways, that's it. It's very context, you know, context, whatever you want to call it. Context dependent. Oh, there we go. Look at that beautiful tractor. Oh my God. All right.